Last month, a 74-year-old viewer emailed me saying she couldn't open a jar of pickles without calling her grandson. She thought she was just getting old, until she learned the truth. Doctors at Stanford discovered that weakening grip strength after 60 has far less to do with aging and far more to do with underused neural pathways that can be reactivated with specific daily movements. In fact, seniors who retrain these pathways gain strength faster than adults in their 30s. Today, I'm going to show you the same 5 moves that helped her open every jar in her kitchen within a week. Most seniors assume weak arms start in the biceps or shoulders, but scientists found something very different. Researchers at the University of Copenhagen discovered that for adults over 60, more than half of everyday strength loss begins in the tiny stabilizer muscles of the wrist and forearm. These small muscles control the essentials: holding a mug, turning a doorknob, gripping a railing, or carrying groceries. When they weaken, the whole arm chain loses power. That's why move number 5 is the seated wrist spiral. It looks simple, but its impact is enormous. Stanford neurologists found that gentle spiral movements of the wrist activate neural pathways that begin to fade with age. When seniors practice these controlled spirals for just 5 minutes a day, they regained up to 28% of their grip endurance within a month. Not from lifting weights, not from squeezing gadgets, just by retraining the brain-to-hand connection. Sit tall on a sturdy chair with your shoulders relaxed. Extend one arm in front of you at chest level, palm facing down. Keep your elbow close to your side so the movement isolates your wrist instead of your shoulder. Now imagine you're slowly turning a delicate key inside a lock. Move your wrist through a smooth inward spiral, then a smooth outward spiral. The motion should feel like your knuckles are drawing a soft circle in the air. Japanese rehabilitation studies show that rotational wrist movements increase blood flow to the smallest capillaries in the forearm. Better blood flow means more oxygen and faster activation of the muscles responsible for grip and steadiness. Many seniors feel warmth spreading through the hand after just a few spirals. That's the stabilizer system switching on. Keep your breathing light and easy. Inhale as you rotate inward. Exhale as you move outward. Older adults who matched their breath to their movement showed significantly stronger muscle activation than those who held their breath. Aim for 15 slow spirals on each side. Each one strengthens the tendons and the fine motor muscles that make everyday tasks feel easier and safer. Within days, you may notice more control when pouring water, steadier handwriting, and a firmer grip on household objects. The seated wrist spiral is gentle, fast, and incredibly effective. But the next move doesn't just strengthen the forearm. It reconnects the entire arm to your shoulder in a way that surprised researchers studying senior strength. One of the biggest reasons seniors lose arm strength isn't actually weak arms. It's weak shoulder stabilizers. A study from the University of Toronto followed adults over 60 for 6 months and found that when the small muscles around the shoulder joint become inactive, the brain quietly reduces power to the entire arm to protect the joint. That means pushing up from a chair, lifting a grocery bag, or even reaching for a seatbelt suddenly feels harder, even if your arm muscles themselves are still capable. Move number 4, the supported elbow lift, directly targets this hidden weakness. It reactivates the shoulder stabilizers while strengthening the biceps and upper forearm. The movement looks gentle, but the science behind it is remarkable. Physiologists at the Mayo Clinic discovered that small, controlled lifting movements performed with elbow support can restore natural strength patterns faster than traditional arm exercises, especially in seniors who feel stiffness or instability in the shoulder. Sit tall on a firm chair and place your right elbow on the armrest or on a folded towel at your side. Your palm faces upward as if you're about to receive an object. Keep your upper arm relaxed and avoid letting your shoulder rise. Now, slowly lift your hand upward using only the muscles in your forearm and biceps, keeping the elbow anchored to the surface. This isolation forces the correct stabilizer muscles in your shoulder to wake up and fire. The movement should be smooth and controlled. Imagine you're gently lifting a small cup of water without wanting to spill a drop. Taking 2 seconds to lift and 2 seconds to lower is ideal. Research shows that this slow tempo builds muscle fibers that support daily tasks far more effectively than fast, jerky movements. As you lift, inhale. As you lower, exhale. This breathing pattern relaxes the upper shoulder and lets the deeper stabilizers take over. Seniors who practice this breath and lift method improved arm steadiness by up to 33% in a Canadian mobility study. Repeat the motion 10 to 15 times, then switch arms. Most seniors notice immediate warmth in the shoulder and a surprising sense of control in the upper arm. That's the stabilizer muscles re-engaging, setting the foundation for stronger lifting, pushing, and carrying. The supported elbow lift is easy, gentle, and restores strength where most seniors lose it first. But the next move goes even deeper. It targets the muscle group that scientists now consider the single biggest predictor of independence after 60, your grip-to-core connection. If you've ever noticed your hands slipping on a jar lid or feeling unsteady while holding a grocery bag, the issue isn't just weak fingers. Scientists from the University of Michigan discovered that the real power of grip strength comes from the muscles that connect your hands to your core. When those connector muscles weaken, everyday tasks feel heavier, shakier, and more tiring, even if your hands themselves feel fine. Move number 3. The chair grip press targets exactly that connection. It strengthens the deep muscles running from the hands through the forearms and up into the upper arm and shoulder. Those are the muscles responsible for stabilizing your grip during real-life movements like pushing yourself out of a chair, holding a handrail, or carrying a pan across the kitchen. Sit tall on a chair with your feet flat on the ground and your palms resting on the edges of the seat beside your hips. Your fingers wrap naturally around the sides of the chair, but your shoulders stay relaxed. Now, here's the key. Instead of lifting your body off the chair, imagine pressing downward into the seat as if you're trying to make the chair heavier. This downward press activates the entire grip-to-core chain in a way squeezing exercises simply can't match. Harvard physiologists found that isometric pressing, where you push without moving, recruits up to 40% more muscle fibers in older adults compared to traditional gripping drills. That's why this move feels surprisingly powerful, even though you barely move an inch. Press firmly into the chair for 5 slow seconds, while keeping your chest lifted and your elbows slightly bent. You should feel the engagement in your hands, forearms, the front of your upper arms, and even your upper back. Then, release gently and breathe normally for a few seconds before pressing again. Repeat 6 to 10 presses. Many seniors report an immediate sensation of stability, spreading from the hands through the arms after just one session. That's the nervous system reactivating the full gripping chain, something that declines rapidly after 60 unless intentionally trained. The chair grip press is simple, joint-friendly, and incredibly effective. But move number 2 goes even further. It trains strength, balance, and coordination at the same time, giving seniors one of the most powerful upper body advantages for daily life. One of the biggest challenges seniors face with arm and grip strength isn't just lifting, it's controlling movement. Researchers at the University of Wisconsin found that adults over 60 lose nearly 30% of their shoulder mobility by relying too much on the larger muscles and not enough on the stabilizers that guide motion. When this happens, simple tasks like reaching for a shelf, hanging clothes, or steadying yourself with one hand become noticeably harder. Move number 2, the standing wall slide, restores that control. It strengthens your shoulders, arms, and upper back, while improving the smooth, coordinated motion that makes your grip more reliable. Physical therapists use this move because it retrains posture and alignment, the foundation for strong, steady arms. Stand with your back gently against a wall. Your feet are about 6 inches away from the base, giving your body room to stay comfortable. Place the backs of your hands against the wall at shoulder height, with your elbows bent. The key is to keep your wrists, elbows, and hands all touching the wall as much as comfortably possible. This activates the stabilizing muscles that seniors often stop using. Now slowly slide your hands upward along the wall as if you're making a snow angel. Go only as high as you can while maintaining gentle contact with the wall. When you reach your highest comfortable point, pause for a moment and breathe. Then slide your arms back down, allowing your shoulder blades to glide downward and inward. A study from the Mayo Clinic showed that controlled wall slide variations increase activation in the rotator cuff and upper back muscles by up to 45% in seniors. These are the exact muscles responsible for shoulder stability and for transferring force from the core to the hands. Repeat 8 to 10 slow slides. You'll feel a warm, supportive engagement behind the shoulders. That's your postural support switching back on. With consistent practice, seniors often notice steadier reaching motions, easier lifting, and a stronger, more reliable grip. The wall slide builds stability and control. But move number 1 is the true powerhouse. It targets the single most important everyday strength skill, the ability to push, pull, and hold with confidence, even when your hands feel tired. This final move is the powerhouse. Scientists at the University of Colorado call it one of the most effective upper body strength builders for adults over 60 because it trains 3 abilities at once: pressing strength, grip control, and whole arm stability. These are the exact skills seniors need for daily tasks like pushing up from a chair, steadying themselves during balance shifts, opening heavy doors, and carrying groceries without strain. Move number 1 is the assisted push press hold. It looks gentle, but it activates the deepest strength patterns your body relies on for independence. In a study of 720 older adults, those who practice controlled push press variations 3 times a week improved their arm strength by up to 52% and their grip reliability by nearly 40%. The key is combining a slight upward press with a controlled hold that forces the stabilizers to fire. Stand behind a sturdy chair or countertop and place both hands flat on the surface, shoulder width apart. Your fingers spread naturally, anchoring your grip. Keep your elbows slightly bent and your chest lifted. Now shift a bit of your body weight forward into your hands. Not enough to strain you, just enough to feel your arms supporting you. This forward lean is what activates the stabilizers that normally weaken first after 60. Here's the important part. Gently press downward into the surface as if you're trying to push it into the floor. At the same time, imagine you're lifting your chest slightly upward, creating a long, tall posture. This combination of pressing downward and rising upward turns on the entire chain from your palms, through your forearms, biceps, shoulders, and upper back. It is one of the most efficient strength activators for seniors because it works with your natural body mechanics instead of against them. Hold this press for 5 slow seconds while breathing steadily. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Seniors who matched breath to muscle. Engagement in this type of isometric hold improves stability and daily functional strength significantly faster, according to a Mayo Clinic review. Release gently, reset your posture, and repeat 6 to 8 times. You should feel a grounded strength building in your hands and arms, as if you're waking up muscles that haven't been fully active in years. The assisted push press hold gives seniors the confidence to push, lift, hold, and stabilize without fear. And when combined with the other 4 moves, it forms a complete joint-friendly system for rebuilding arm power and grip strength at any age. If you're over 60, the strength in your hands and arms isn't just about fitness. It's your independence. It's your ability to cook, clean, lift, carry, steady yourself, and move through your day without hesitation. And what researchers are discovering now is incredibly encouraging. Strength isn't lost forever. It's simply asleep. The 5 moves you learn today are designed to wake it back up. Study after study shows that seniors regain strength faster than younger adults when they perform the right kinds of movements. Slow, controlled, stability-based motions that reactivate the neuromuscular pathways responsible for daily function. That means your body is capable of rebuilding power, steadiness, and control at any age. And the changes don't take months. Many of the trials behind these movements showed measurable improvements within 2 to 4 weeks. The seated wrist spiral brings life back into the fine stabilizers of your hands. The supported elbow lift restores the shoulder control needed for lifting and reaching. The chair grip press switches on the entire grip-to-core chain that helps you hold and carry objects. The standing wall slide rebuilds postural strength and smoother, steadier motion. And the assisted push-press hold brings it all together, activating the full upper body system you rely on every single day. These movements aren't about becoming a bodybuilder. They're about making your daily life easier, safer, and more enjoyable. Stronger hands mean opening jars without frustration. Stronger arms mean pushing up from a chair with confidence. Better grip control means fewer slips, fewer aches, and greater peace of mind. Your strength is still there. Your body is ready to respond. All it needs is a little consistent activation. Start with just a few minutes each day. Your hands will feel steadier. Your arms will feel lighter. Tasks that used to feel tiring will begin to feel natural again. And now we want to hear from you. Which movement felt the best for your arms or hands? Which one surprised you? Share your experience below. We love hearing how seniors are regaining strength, confidence, and control one small step at a time.